Speaking Task 1. You will be asked a question about a familiar topic. You will then have 15 seconds to prepare your response, and 45 seconds to speak.
People should have a minimum level of physical exercise every day, regardless of their work or age. Do you agree or disagree? Provide reasons for your response.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
I completely agree that people should get a minimum level of physical exercise every day, regardless of their age or profession. Regular exercise has been proven to have numerous health benefits. It not only maintains physical fitness and aids in weight management but also improves mental health by reducing stress and enhancing mood. Additionally, routine physical activity can help prevent chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and some forms of cancer. Regardless of age or the nature of work, incorporating at least some form of exercise into daily routines ensures a healthier and more active lifestyle.
Speaking Task 2. You will read a short paragraph and then listen to a conversation between two people. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the conversation between two people.
Now listen to two students discussing the letter.
Hey, what do you think about this idea?
Well, it sounds great, but I don't actually think it would work very well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I get what he's saying, but I don't think he's thought about the problems with that kind of thing.
No?
No, I'm worried about the books. It'd be really easy to spill something on them accidentally, and then they could get ruined. And some of them are really expensive.
Yeah, even if people tried to be careful, that would probably happen sometimes.
Exactly. And the other thing is, we already have the convenience store in the student center, which sells that same kind of stuff.
That's true.
And the student center is actually much closer to the academic buildings where classes are held. The bookstore's all the way on the other side of campus. It's not close to the buildings where students are taking classes. So I don't think students would really go there between classes the way he says.
The woman expresses her opinion about the proposal described in the letter. Briefly summarize the proposal. Then state her opinion about the proposal and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
The woman expresses her opinion about the proposal described in the letter. Briefly summarize the proposal, then state her opinion about the proposal and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The letter proposes that the campus bookstore should sell drinks and snacks and include a small seating area. However, the woman disagrees with this idea. First, she's concerned that food or drinks might spill on the books, especially since many are expensive, and even careful students might cause accidents. Second, she points out that there's already a convenience store in the student center that sells the same items. It's also located much closer to the academic buildings, whereas the bookstore is farther away, making it less practical for students to visit between classes.
Speaking Task 3. You will read a short paragraph about an academic topic, then listen to a lecture about it. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the lecture.
For example, I used to work for a corporation that was having trouble with workers being absent a lot. To help address this problem, they hired a consultant who began by interviewing a lot of the workers and getting to know more about them. She also researched other aspects of the company, such as the types of eating facilities and health services it offered. And what the consultant discovered was that many of the employees were missing work, not for an obvious simple reason like, say, lack of motivation, but because of health problems that were the result of, or at least made worse by, a combination of factors, such as poor eating habits and lack of exercise. The consultant concluded that since the company didn't offer exercise opportunities or healthy meals, that this indirectly contributed to the workers' poor health. The consultant proposed building a gym within the company office building for employees to use to exercise, and also to offer a more nutritious menu in the cafeteria, which the company did, but it took a while. And after a year or so, after the company had time to construct a gym and revise its cafeteria menu, attendance began to improve, and continued to improve until it was no longer a problem.
Explain how the example discussed by the professor illustrates a systems thinking approach to problem solving.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The example shows systems thinking because the consultant didn't just look for a simple, direct cause of the workers' absences. Instead, she considered the bigger picture by examining various parts of the company, like the eating facilities and health services. She discovered that poor health, caused by factors such as unhealthy eating and lack of exercise, was contributing to the absences. So, rather than just addressing attendance directly, the company made long-term changes by building a gym and improving the cafeteria menu. These complex solutions took time to implement but eventually led to better employee health and improved attendance, demonstrating how systems thinking solves problems by addressing multiple interacting factors.
You will listen to a lecture about an academic topic. After, you will get a question about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. Now listen to the lecture.
Even though it's cold and snow-covered, the Arctic houses many species of animals that manage to survive the harsh conditions there. These Arctic animals have adapted to the extremely cold temperatures primarily because of certain body features that help them to survive in the cold Arctic climate. Let's look at a few of them. For one thing, many Arctic animals have developed a protective covering on their feet. The covering usually consists of fur or feathers, which act as a protective layer between the cold and the animal's skin. Since they spend so much of their time on snowy, icy surfaces, whether they're standing on the ground or swimming in the water, they can easily lose heat through their feet. This is especially true of Arctic birds. A bird like the Arctic snowy owl, for example, has feathers on its body the way other birds do. But unlike most birds, it also has feathers all over its feet. This shields and protects the feet from the icy ground so that very little of the owl's foot actually touches snowy or icy surfaces, which helps its feet to stay warm. Another physical characteristic that some Arctic animals share is having smaller bodies and smaller, shorter body parts. In other words, their bodies are often more compact than other animals, and the parts of their bodies that stick out or protrude, like the legs, ears, or tails, are smaller and shorter. And the result is that there is less body surface exposed to the cold air. A great example is the Arctic wolf. Unlike the larger gray wolves that live in warmer climates, Arctic wolves have relatively small, compact bodies that efficiently retain heat. They also have smaller ears and shorter legs, so they lose less body heat than animals with larger bodies or longer body parts. And in a climate where the temperature is below zero most of the year, that's very important.
Using the example of the owl and the wolf, explain how two special body features have helped Arctic animals adapt to the cold.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The Arctic animals, like the snowy owl and the Arctic wolf, have special body features that help them survive in the extreme cold. The snowy owl has feathers all over its feet to protect them from the icy ground, keeping them warm. This way, very little of the owl's foot touches the cold surface. Similarly, the Arctic wolf has a smaller, compact body with smaller ears and shorter legs, which helps retain heat and prevent heat loss. These special features allow these animals to adapt to the cold Arctic climate and thrive in the harsh conditions. They are able to stay warm and survive in a place where the temperature is below zero most of the year.